If you're the parent of a school-aged child, you know afternoons or evenings are filled with textbooks and assignments, not my father's favorite memories of me. While many children may struggle with their homework, parents can actually ease the burden by taking simple steps. Kristen Miller, an educator with Barclay School District, is here with some practical advice. Kristen,
yes.
Hello.
Hi.
Thank you for being here
You're
today.
welcome.
So, first off, why do teachers assign homework when all the learning's supposed to be done in the classroom during the day?
Well, there is a reason. There are many reasons. One would be just to practice what was done in the classroom and bring it into the home, just for them to keep practicing the skills that were taught.
Like reinforcement?
Exactly, and that's the other one. And then extend the thinking, so extend it, take it a step further into the home. Another way is just creative. So just have your child make a project. So that's where all those projects come into play. That's the creative side. And then another way would be preparation. So that's when they would go home, study for the quiz, study for a test that is coming up.
Okay, so the opportunity for creativity.
Yes.
For preparation.
Yep.
And
practice would be the
for
biggest.
practice.
And it also, homework it's a great way of the parents knowing what is going on in the child's classroom.
Okay.
By looking at that, they're knowing exactly what skills and what topics they are learning on a daily basis.
Well, let's say that a parent is struggling with their children's homework every day. What are some things that they can do, steps that they can take to help their child?
Well, first and foremost, what they should do if they don't already is have a homework policy set in their house. So have a specific place where they go do their homework. So they're not sitting on their bed doing their homework whenever they want. Have a spot.
And a routine? So
exactly.
The same
so
thing,
it's a set
same
routine.
place
Yes.
every night?
So if it's a little desk in a corner with a well-lit light, just make sure there's lots of light. All the supplies are there, pencil, paper, so they don't have an excuse to leave because they need a pencil. It's all right there. Limited distractions. So no TV. Turn the TV off and just have them sit there and do it again the same time, and then make it consistent. So whether it's right when they got off the bus, before or after dinner, before or after soccer practice, make sure it is the same.
So
the
they
kids,
get it done.
yes.
So they've got a place, they've got a time, limited distractions,
Yes.
and give them the supplies they need so
Yes,
that they
right
can't
there.
do the old, oh no, Dad, I was just going to get a pencil and I don't know how the refrigerator opened.
Yes, and we all know that. And if the parents are there being positive and being encouragers to support the homework environment and the homework, it's going to make things a lot better for them.
Now
and the
that's
kids.
an interesting point that makes me think of when you say support the homework environment.
Yeah.
So we get to a grade where our children maybe are learning a subject. It's been 20 years since we've been learning that subject in school, and quite frankly, we're not quite sure that we remember.
And it's not even remember now, they teach it a certain different way. So
That's
even if
true
it is
too.
a skill you remember, we may be teaching it a different way.
So
that
how do we
happens.
help as parents? How do we?
The best is, again, just being an encourager. So when the child is sitting there and he doesn't know how to answer the question, pry it out of him. Just start asking, what did you learn today in class? What did you learn last week in class? To try to pick his brain to see if he does spark some interest or memory of what the assignment was. If that doesn't work, the second best thing would be call a classmate and have him or her get on the phone, call a classmate, and again, maybe that will reassure it. If not, I know in my public library for our school district, they actually have the textbooks in the library, which I didn't know that until I inquired more, that they actually have the textbooks there, that you could go check out the textbook, look at it, and then again, that's a great refresher for the parent as well as the student. And then if not, just write a note to the teacher. Just say,
now, communication with the teacher.
Huge. That's
how
one of the
key
most.
is that? How do I approach the teacher?
All you have to do, if it's say number 3, you can't do it, write a note to the teacher. Jimmy and I had trouble with number 3. Can you please help him the next day at school? And the teacher will communicate back to Jimmy, explain the whole answer, and then go from there. I'd also get in touch with the teacher immediately if you are struggling with the homework. Like if he's just struggling daily with the homework, I would definitely inquire with the teacher. Is this something that's happening just in the classroom, just in the home, or is it happening in the classroom too? And then have a conference that way to see how to make it better.
That's good to know because sometimes it can mirror what's happening in the classroom, what's happening at home.
Exactly.
And maybe it's not just a homework problem.
And maybe he needs additional help.
So keep that communication open. Another question that I had is, how much homework is normal? We always ask that.
Yes. Each district has their own policy on that.
Really?
So, according to grade level. So each district would have their own set time restraints for each grade level.
So typically you can go to your district and find out what the norm is.
It's usually in their code of conduct in the beginning.
And in the code of conduct. Yes. And then see where your teacher...
you fall from there. Yeah.
Okay, the assignments the teacher's given falls in with that. All right, well that's fabulous. So are there simple things that a parent might be able to do to encourage the homework process?
set a good example. I mean, the biggest thing is the kids are, but why do I have to do the homework? What's the point? And if a child sees a parent reading a book, even if it's a newspaper in front of them, it's like, whoa, so reading is important, and I am going to do it when I get older. While they are doing the homework, have the parents sit there and read a book, do something educational, write a grocery list if it's easy as that, balance a checkbook in front of them. And if you have younger siblings, another idea would be that's their reading time then. You take them in the corner and you read with them as you're doing your homework. So that would be another big thing. Just again, be positive as you can be, and just be an encourager.
I love that idea, because oftentimes I think, especially in the older grades, students will get stalled because they say, when am I ever going to use this?
Yes.
Why do I even need this? Why am I learning this? And
So
seeing the practical application.
Exactly.
In an example
and as easy as it is, you just have to do it. So you just have to
it really
to
keeps
do it.
things going. Well, that's fabulous.
Yes.
So I know are there some good resources that parents and children can use? I know you mentioned the library.
Yes.
I know you mentioned textbooks in the library.
A great resource is the internet, especially nowadays. There are endless articles and websites for the students as well as the parents to go on for homework help. The endless. So just go in and do a search on that, and you can look up there. Bookstores have tons and tons of books on this issue, because they're not the only. There's parents out there that are struggling.
You're not alone.
Exactly. So they do try to help. And then teacher is the greatest resource. Just go to him, and just find out what are some strategies that she suggests or he suggests for your child.
And will these strategies work all the way up?
We hope so. And that's why if you try to get it when they're young and really enforce that love for learning into them when they're it should carry on for a lifelong love of learning throughout the years.
Wonderful. So if we start now, we can build the habits that hopefully will endure all the way through. So if we can talk a little bit more and go over it briefly. Tonight, when they get home, we want to start a new homework habit.
And it's the beginning of the school year, so it's a great time.
So it can be perfect.
The start, exactly.
Go in, find a place.
Yep.
Dedicate a place, dedicate a time.
Even for younger kids, they can make a little sign, my homework spot. They would love that. Just something creative, make a little sign, post it, and that is where they do their homework.
Great.
And
make sure they have their supplies and
TV off.
Support them. Get rid of the distractions and support them.
And just be as encouraging as possible.
Kristen, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you.
I know you helped a lot of people out.